Hello, everybody, and welcome tonight here to Michigan International Speedway here in the original Rebels Racing League for the Goat Locker Racing 75 here at Michigan International Speedway in the Xtreme Xfintiy Series. My name is Zach Wetstein, bringing you the 75 laps in this race here tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. We're getting into the grind of the season. We're past halfway. We got Michigan tonight, Indianapolis next week. You got people fighting for points positions coming into tonight. Patrick Drabick in the lead, 39 points over Garrett Kinder. Garrett Kinder has an 8-point lead over Jamie Barkas for second. So a lot of racing left in the season, and a lot can happen for that. Not only the points lead, but throughout the top 10, throughout the top 20 in points. A lot can change throughout the rest of the season. So tonight should be a good one. We got 75 laps, like I mentioned, and these guys getting ready to grid. Actually, some of them gridded up already. Jason Warren, actually Cody McElwain, sorry, your pole sitter here tonight. We'll go ahead and pull up the grid. Hoping there'd be a better shot of the cars. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go with pit lane. Why not? All right. Cody McElwain with the pole spot tonight, 38.898 gets him that. Jason Warren starting this one in second, with Jamie Barkas starting in the third position. David Sartwell Cornell starting this one in fourth, with Jonah Colbert in the fifth position. Patrick Drabick in sixth tonight, with Matthew Sartwell Cornell starting this one in seventh. So some family members starting upside there in the top 10. Starting this one in 8th, Jesse Necula with Brandon Wallace starting in 9th. P10 goes to Chuck Feltz. We had a little glitch, so let's fix that. The 11th position tonight goes to Garrett Kinder. Not used to seeing him start that far back, so going to be interesting to watch him fight his way into the top 10. Keith Thurst starting this one in 12th. P13, Kai Schappert with Jeff Paisley on his outside in 14th. 15th position goes to Josh Thompson in the 013 car, with Sam Wetstein on his outside in 16th. 17th tonight goes to Tyler Rice, with Charles Stevens Jr. starting this one in the 18th position. P19 goes to Tia Swank, with Josh Hall in the 20th position, running out that top 20. Kyle Martinson starting this one in the 21st position. Scrolled that a little too quick. With Eric Santee starting this one on his outside in 22nd. William Griffith starting in 23rd. Mike Brown 24th. And Anthony Rayner in the 25th and final position here tonight, as we are getting ready to roll off. 2-mile track. Let's pull up your race information. 2-mile racetrack. 72 degrees is the track temperature. They are starting in the morning, so we're probably going to see that track temperature build up as the race goes on. A smart decision, because if you start in the afternoon, those track temps going to be hotter than that, probably in the 90s. So a good decision from them. And like I said, we got 75 laps here tonight. Your pit strategy, or your fuel window, let's say, is going to be about 35 to 40 laps. Fuel-wise, we'll see. We'll see how long they decide to go on those tires, because this is Michigan International Speedway, and it eats up tires, this track does. So you're going to be screaming for tires at the first caution or the first time you get a green flag pit stop, either which. But since it is a 75-lap race, I imagine these guys are going to want to try to get to halfway before they get that first pit stop in, under green anyways. If you're talking from a standpoint of a caution coming out, then they're going to pit whenever they can, as long as it's not too early, because they only have, I believe, 3 extra sets of tires. So a lot of managing here tonight, when you pit and when you take tires. Pace car pulls off. We are ready to go racing here in the Xtreme Xfintiy Series. Cody McElwain, Jason Warren, your front row. The green flag is out, as they are side by side for the lead going into turn 1. Let's see if that inside line wins out of turn 2. Cody McElwain maybe saying, hey, this is my spot. Moves up a little bit, takes that, and runs away with it. Battle for third going on. Jamie Barkas, or that's fourth, sorry. Jamie Barkas on the inside, sorry, and Patrick Drabick, his teammate, on the outside. So You see two teammates, the 07 and the 15 there, battling for position. Their teammate, Cody McElwain, though, in the lead. And I was told earlier, that outside lane would be the place to go 3 and 4. So we'll see if that is actually the case. There's David Sartwell Cornell in the 63 machine there on the high line, trying to make a pass for second over Jason Warren. Jason Warren holds on to it for now, slides up, barely room to do it, but he is able to successfully slide up in front of that 63 Toyota Camry. Battling going on back in the 13th position. That is Kai Shepard in the 60, Jeff Paisley in the 7 on the bottom as they go side by side down the front stretch to complete lap 2 on to lap 3. So far, cold tires, not a problem as everybody gets off clean, and we are going to start getting into this, hopefully, long run, but they are 3 wide in front of them, maybe not. Oh, man. Jesse Nekula, Jonah Colbert, and Matthew Cornell were all 3 wide coming out of turn 2, but it eventually gets out into 2 wide with Jonah Colbert and Matthew Cornell as Jesse Nekula holds on to that 6th position there in that 29 machine. Good start from everybody. Even when they're 3 wide, they're able to keep it clean. And that's no surprise from this series. Every week that we watch these drivers race, it kind of just surprised me more and more. It's becoming less surprising when they have these great runs, in these races at tough tracks at that. And so each week they put on a show, and it's a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to broadcast. Side by side here is Garrett Kinder and Matthew Cornell. Garrett Kinder takes they are not side by side for position. Was that Brandon Wallace? Yeah, that is Brandon Wallace, showing the 1 machine, but he is the 99 usually. But nonetheless, Garrett Kinder takes the spot away, and behind Brandon Wallace are 2 drivers hungry to take that spot away, and they're both going to try 3 wide once again out of turn 2. And that is one beautiful thing about iRacing bringing dynamic tracking in, is we're able to see so many grooves work, and we've seen 3 wide twice now in this race. Side by side, 2 rows deep here. Kai Shepard, Josh Hall. Josh Hall on the outside of the 81 machine. That gets figured out. Charles Stevens Jr. and Keith Thurst behind him side by side for the 17th spot. Go back up to the lead. We have a battle for the lead. Jason Warren to the inside of Cody McElwain in 3 and 4. We'll see if that inside line has a good enough run out to take that spot away. It does not. And we are side by side once again for the lead coming into lap 7. When you battle for the lead, you want to take that lead away and get in that clean air, but you also want to think about your tires. You do not want to wear them out too much here early on. Jason Warren into that clean air, clear for the lead, and we'll see if he sets sail now as he puts Cody McElwain into that dirty air. And Cody McElwain trying to battle back. He's sticking with Jason so far. He wants to get that lead back away from him. But passing is tougher than Jason Warren made it look. So we'll see if Cody has the speed to pass Jason back up. Great racing here so far early on in this race. Almost to lap 10 as we complete lap 8 there. move back a little bit. There's David Cornell in the 3rd position, and Patrick Drabick behind him. Interested in that 3rd position. Patrick Drabick and his teammate Jamie Barkas, both interested in that podium position. But once again, we always talk about it. One thing to get to somebody, another thing to pass them. So we'll see how successful these two are in doing that if they get to them. Ten laps in now to this run, and this is about the part of the run where you're screaming for tires, and well, you know that if you don't have a caution, it's going to be a little while, at least 25 to 30 laps, I'd have to imagine. So that's why you always have to take care of your tires early on in the run, because if you don't, 10 or 15 laps later, you're going to be feeling that, and you're going to be paying for it as people are going to be passing you. So this is just about where they're going to be starting to feel those tires go away, and we're going to really find out who's taking better care of their tires early on in this race. Side by side. Nope, not side by side. I thought they were. Never mind. Jeff Paisley there in that 7 machine, all over the back bumper of Matthew Cornell in that 10 machine. As Jeff looks to the inside, this is for the 8th position going into turn 1. Jeff Paisley going to maybe slide up in front of him, not able to do so. And not only is that going to keep Matthew in the 10 car, he's going to keep that 8th position, but that's going to open the door for the 76 of Garrett Kinder. Garrett Kinder to the bottom, and with the run he got on Jeff Paisley, no contest into turn 3. Garrett Kinder up to the 9th position, and that shows if you go to make a pass and you miss your mark or you're not able to make it, man, it can cost you a position or two, and it does there for Jeff Paisley as he falls back to the 10th position. Garrett Kinder now working on the back bumper of Matthew Cornell for the 8th spot. So Garrett Kinder started this one in the 11th position, and we have a change for the lead going on. Cody McElwain back to the point, and he's bringing David Cornell with him. There's David in the 63. Jason Warren maybe starting to fall off a little bit as this run goes on. And Jason, if he's not careful, could lose 3 or 4 positions here. He's going to have to try to hold on. Go on board here. This is David Cornell behind Jason Warren. Now side by side, Patrick Drabick to the inside, and you see Jason Warren go to the inside for the lead. Side by side action for 1st and for 3rd. Great racing going on, and we are 14 laps into this run. It's amazing to see such close racing on older tires. Look at all this action. This is your top 6, basically in a blanket here. That's Jonah Colbert in the 31 in that 6th position, running that very bottom. You're not seeing anybody else run that right now. Six-car train for the lead. You have to go back to Jesse Necula. He is your 7th place driver. Side by side, Jason Warren. They're going to be 3 wide out of turn 4. Jason Warren in the middle, sandwiched between 2 Jam Cook Racing drivers, and he loses both spots. Back to the 5th position. Here comes David Cornell in 2nd. David Cornell hasn't been in the lead yet in this race. Wants to try for it, but Patrick Drabick on the outside, trying to take that 2nd position away. Drabick, your last week's winner, trying to make it 2 in a row. I'm not sure if he won it Lucas Oil as well or not. Yeah, he did. So he's trying to make it at least 3 in a row tonight. But if this racing is showing anything, it is not going to be easy whoever wins this race, because there are so many drivers kind of running the same pace right now. But Cody McElwain survives it all and is keeping a lead over these drivers. "17 laps now into this run. Still side by side for second, so we're starting to see our leader run away a little bit, and that might be because of this battling going on for second. Every single turn, every single lap that these drivers battle back here, that is more and more distance that Cody McElwain can build over these drivers, and you're seeing it on your screen so far. I mean, second place was just up behind Cody, and now that they're battling for it, about 2 or 3, maybe 4 car lengths in between. Three wide behind him. How many times have I said that already tonight? That's Jonah Colbert in the 31 saying hello to this party. He's been in this 6th position at the end of this line for a while now, and he's just finally starting to actually get up here and race these guys. It's amazing. Jason Warren lost the lead, actually fell back to 5th, and I was thinking, man, he's done for. He's going to lose even more, but he is fighting back now, and he's in that 4th position, and now challenging David Cornell for 3rd. Got to be very careful on that inside. Do not want to get tight and get up into the person above you. Jason Warren does that very well. Jamie Barkus on the inside in that 15. Trying not to get passed up by Jonah Colbert here. And for now, this battle up front, well, never mind. I was about to say it's single filed out and no racing going on, but they almost were just 3 wide once again. And Patrick Drabick, he is showing some speed. He is cleared for 2nd and already up to the back bumper of Cody McElwain, a teammate. And we've seen these Jam Cook Racing guys before. They say who's ever in the lead, we'll chill behind them and kind of ride. But with this big of a group right now, with Jason Warren behind him, David Cornell, you got Jonah Colbert as well. I don't know how patient you can be as a teammate because, well, if you're too patient, Jason Warren's going to come up and take at least 1 spot away from you, maybe both. Great racing going on up here for the lead. Jamie Barkus to the inside now of David Cornell. And it just seems like nobody is safe up here. No matter what position you're in, there's always battling going on wherever you look. And it's hard to look away from these front 6 as they just continue and continue to battle lap by lap. Is Jason Warren now on that inside line, and we're really starting to see that outside line. You can pinch somebody down, you will be able to make that pass. We'll see if David Cornell is able to do that. And Patrick Drabick also starting to get back up there near the lead, and I just talked about it, teammates, and they usually are patient with each other, but once again, how patient can you be when you have people right behind you? And both of those people, Jason Warren and David Cornell, not teammates, so you know they're not going to just sit behind you and wait. Oh, Jason Warren, oh, and they get to the wall. David Cornell into the wall, gets tight, and not only is that going to give him damage, but he's going to fall back to 7th. And, well, with that damage, you'd have to think he's going to continue to fall. We'll see. Jason Warren got a little loose. I don't think he got into David, though. David got tight, got into the wall, out of 2, and, well, that breaks up this band a little bit. But Jonah Colbert, who's been sitting in 6th place for a while now, is up battling for 2nd with Patrick Drabick there in that 31 machine there on the bottom. Jonah Colbert maybe taking care of his tires here throughout this run, and now going to challenge for second and maybe the lead if he can get past Patrick Drabick. Or actually, that's Jamie Barkus, sorry. I apologize. Patrick Drabick up here in second. That's Jamie Barkus in the 15 in the third position. And, man, Jonah Colbert is straddling that yellow line right now, and it worked. We're not seeing anybody use that very bottom line, but Jonah Colbert has, and he's used it up to the third position. We'll see what he has now in a little bit of cleaner air. Still behind Patrick Drabick, though, so that'll give him some dirty air. Garrett Kinder passing up David Cornell, and Chuck Phelps looking to do so as well. And, man, with no caution, that is going to cost David Cornell, because some tracks you can get away with having damage because aero doesn't matter that much. But, man, it absolutely matters here at Michigan International Speedway, a big 2-mile racetrack. You definitely need your car as well as it can be to not lose any aero, or not to have any aero damage that can hurt you in the turns. And seems like that's definitely happened to David Cornell. He's now fallen back to 9th as Chuck Phelps passes him. And we have a battle for the second position here now. Jonah Colbert, like I said, he's even on the apron right now. But he did not make it work that time around, as Patrick Drabick proving a tough customer, but for how long? Jonah Colbert's car looks really strong right now, and I don't think Patrick's going to be able to battle for much longer, but he might prove me wrong. And he does. He's sticking with him there on the outside. Side by side now, Jason Warren. Jason Warren, every time I look at his car, he's either in second or fourth. I mean, he keeps going forward and backwards. He gets loose. That's going to hurt. He's going to go backwards now. That's Jesse Necula who's found his way into this battle for the top 5. That's the 4th position for Jesse Necula, and Jamie Barkus looking to take the 5th spot away from Jason Warren, and he does. So Jason slips up, gets loose, and he's actually going down to pit road. So Jason Warren, our first taker down pit road. David Cornell follows him down. So 2 drivers down pit road this time around. We'll see if anybody joins them the next time around as everybody passes them up on pit road. Jason Warren did just get loose, so maybe he was like, might as well pit now. We'll see. We're here with Cody McElwain, your leader. Jonah Colbert up to second, Jesse Necula to third. So all of a sudden your top 3 looks different as Jesse Necula fills that 3rd spot. Now there's Jason Warren coming out of pit road. Matthew Cornell into pit road as well. And we're gonna see how quickly Jason Warren gets past these drivers. Jesse Necula gets loose. That's gonna cost him. Garrett Kinder into the top 5 as he passes Jamie Barkus. So Kinder started this one in 11th, and he's moved his way up to 5th now. And Jesse Necula going down to pit road, so that'll put him in the 4th position. Starting to see more and more come down pit road, but not the majority of drivers. But we do see, we see Kai Shappert come down pit road. And just watch Jason Warren eat these drivers up on these new tires. If I go ahead and look at the times, Jason Warren last time around ran, if I can find him. There he is. He ran a 30, ran a 30. Oh, no, never mind. We'll see what he runs here in a little bit. His last lap was a minute because he had pit. Right. That was stupid of me. Garrett Kinder down to pit road. So everybody starting to file down to pit road, and you got to think Cody McElwain, our leader, cannot wait much longer. Jason Warren, the last time around, ran a 39.85. Your leader, a 41.03. So About a 1.5 difference there. I mean, you cannot keep losing that much time. So you got to think he's going to come down pit road soon. And pit road, speaking of, is a busy place. About 5 or 6 people down right now, as we are on lap 31, 45 laps to go. And you got to think either they couldn't make it to halfway and get good on fuel, or they will be good after this pit stop. Cody McElwain stays out another lap. So I don't know if he's just depending on a caution or if he's trying to get closer to that halfway, but you got to think that staying out is a danger here because you are giving up a lot of time to your close competitors, and he wasn't that far ahead of those 2nd, 3rd, 4th place drivers, so losing a lot of time right now. There's Jason Warren getting his lap back, so if caution does come out, he'll be on the lead lap. Cody McElwain doesn't look like he's going to, or this is turn 2, so we'll see if he stops this time around. Only 8 drivers stayed out so far. Cody McElwain, Jonah Colbert, Patrick Drabick, Jamie Barkas, Brandon Wallace, Charles Stevens Jr., Eric Santee, and Sam Wetstein, all the drivers who have stayed out. And the last car on the lead lap, 9th place, you just saw, Jason Warren. Cody McElwain stays out another lap. And more important, well, not more importantly, but a thing to note is that 3 of our 8 drivers that have stayed out are all teammates. So that's obviously a coordinated call to stay out this late. And if these drivers who pit now can't make it and have to get one more pit stop, then they're obviously hoping for a caution. Because if these guys can make it on one stop, that will not do for those people who have to make 2 stops. But I wouldn't imagine that that many drivers would be making 2 stops if you can make it on one stop. Cody McElwain now on lap 35. This time around, we'll have 40 laps to go here at Michigan International Speedway, 35 straight green flag laps. Nobody in that top 8 that have not pit yet, all still out there. See Cody staying out another lap, so obviously they're going to be staying out for a while. It seems like they've already made their bed. There is Garrett Kinder in the 76 machine, the next to get his lap back by passing the leader up. That would put 10 drivers on the lead lap. And just watch the difference between fresh and old tires. I mean, Garrett Kinder just easily gets through the corner way better than Cody. We have Jonah Colbert down pit road, the first of the 8 to stay out down pit road. So that leaves 7 of them. We'll see if anybody else joins them this time around. Charles Stevens Jr., the first that would potentially, and he does not. Eric Santee, Sam Wetstein all stay out. Well, Sam has a chance. But he looks like he's staying out on that high side. And there's more drivers to get their lap back. Jesse Necula, David Cornell, they're actually battling for position right now. Cody McElwain down pit road, and with that, I'd have to imagine we'll see at least 2 other drivers down pit road. Yep. Brandon Wallace stays out. He takes over the lead and will actually lead this lap. Charles Stevens Jr., we'll see if he stays out or not. He does. Sam Wetstein stays out as well in that 98 machine. Jason Warren in the 4th position right now. The first car of the takers on lap 30 or so. So 3 drivers yet to pit as Eric Santee went down pit road. Brandon Wallace, Charles Stevens Jr., and Sam Wetstein, all the drivers out there on track. Your leader right now is Brandon Wallace. As we are about to take lap 40 already. And, well, usually when you think of wrecks, you think of, you know, maybe restarts or just a self-spin. But one of the most dangerous spots of a race is green flag pit stops, whether it's getting into pit road or you're a couple of laps out, call them hot laps, I guess you could say, getting your tires up to temperature after you've pit and gotten new tires. That can be pretty dangerous. So we've made it past that stage with most of these drivers. But still left 3 drivers yet to pit. Jason Warren has made his way into the 3rd position with those new newer tires than these drivers who have stayed out. I will be right back. Sorry about that, folks. We are back. And Brandon Wallace, the last left on track, has now gone down to pit road. And when Jason Warren comes around, he'll take the lead away. Brandon Wallace still leads that lap, but Jason Warren going to take the lead away and will lead the next one as we are on lap 43 now of 75. $22 laps to go. Everybody has now pit. Jonah Colbert making a pass on David Cornell for the 5th position. And, well, what was once a big group of 6 cars has now kind of really gotten stretched out here with all these green flag pit stops. And Cody McElwain, who pit way later than Jason Warren, is now only about a half a straightaway from him, if that. So Cody McElwain on the fresher tires. We're going to see him take the lead here soon if we stay under green. As there's Cody McElwain, Garrett Kinder behind him in 3rd, Jess Necula 4th. And actually, let's take this moment to kind of go through the running order. Jason Warren, your current leader, doesn't run much in this series, but when he does, he's always fast, running in the lead position. Cody McElwain, you can almost see those two in the same frame right now. He's, like I said, about to probably take that lead away soon, running in 2nd right now. Garrett Kinder in that 76 machine running in 3rd. Jonah Colbert fourth. Looks like he's hungry to take that third position away. Jesse Necula behind him there in that 29 machine rounds out the top 5. David Cornell right now sitting in 6th. A good rebound after he hit the wall earlier. Patrick Drabick sitting in 7th right now. Jamie Barkus, his teammate, sitting in 8th. Tia Swank, your biggest mover in this race, sitting in 9th. He started this one in 19th. Chuck Feltz rounds out your top 10 there in that 75 Chevrolet machine. And that is your top 10 running order through 46 laps. We got 30 left, ladies and gentlemen. All green so far. Can they do it for the remaining 30 laps? We will find out. Jason Warren, see how long he's able to hold on to that lead as Cody McElwain is on the move. There you see the distance between the two, about 5 or 6 car lengths. Cody McElwain has, I'd like to say, dominated this race. Hasn't really pulled away with the lead too much in this race other than green flag pit stops, but has led the most laps. So he has absolutely done a great job tonight here at Michigan and looks to take that lead back away from Jason Warren here very soon. This may look like, and it is a big track, but it may look like an easy track to have this many green flag laps, but trust me, it is a tough racetrack, tough on the tires. It can get loose on you any moment, and, well, just a quick shout-out to these drivers so far as they've run 48 green. Who's to say there isn't, 3 cautions in the last 28 laps? I don't want to say that there is no chance for a caution, but so far they've done a great job at not bringing out one, and that says a lot because they've been racing a lot of this. A lot of this race, they have been really close racing going on, and clean racing. That is the case because, if you don't clean racing, you're going to have those cautions. So great job so far. Cody McElwain takes the lead back away from Jason Warren as he looks to try to lock this race up. And I was questioning his call, but with this many laps left, he was able to make it up with the new tires that he was on compared to these drivers that pit about 10 laps or so earlier. And it is showing. He is pulling away now with 26 laps to go away from Jason Warren, and Jason Warren down pit road. So, yeah, I was questioning that earlier, whether these drivers who pit earlier were going to be able to make it on one stop. They are not. This is the second stop for Jason Warren. And some of these drivers, once they get back out on track, going to need some cautions to fall their way if they want a chance to race to the lead, I imagine. So Jason Warren, the first of that group to go down pit road. Keith Thurst, nope, never mind, he doesn't go down pit road. Cody McElwain just going to start adding on to that lap total that he's led so far in this race. And there's Jason Warren going a lap down, but no doubt he'll get that lap back soon on those fresher tires. So it's not for position, but well, right back at you, Jason Warren says, I guess, maybe. But like I said, it's not for position, just to get his lap back. So Jason Warren not having the time of his life making this pass as of now. And, well, after these green flag pit stops have kind of settled through, Jonah Colbert in the second position, Patrick Drabick third, Garrett Kinder right behind him in fourth. But I believe these are drivers on a little bit fresher tires passing Garrett Kinder. Jesse Nekula in 5th. David Cornell 6th. Jamie Barkas 7th. Tia Swank 8th. Chuck Feltz 9th. And Matthew Cornell rounding out the top 10 now. Right now, that lead for Cody McElwain is 1 second. It was just 1.2. Jonah Colbert is the driver behind him, so this race definitely not over. Jonah Colbert showing some speed. Like I said, has cut that lead down about 2/10, now 3/10. It is down now to 9/10. So Jonah Colbert definitely has something for Cody McElwain. We'll see if he's able to put it to use late into this race. Garrett Kinder down pit road, the second of those drivers who pit on around lap 30 to come down pit road for the second time. You just got to wonder if these drivers knew that they could maybe make it past halfway, because these drivers who stayed out longer made it to that halfway point and pit. So you'd have to imagine they can make it on one stop compared to 2 for the other drivers. As we had some more drivers down pit road, Chuck Feltz, Jeff Paisley, Josh Thompson, all down pit road. There's Garrett Kinder coming out. Gonna go a lap down and have to get it back once again. Matthew Cornell, Kai Schappert down pit road as well, and I have figured out that this is the worst camera angle ever to show the drivers down pit road. Got to have some humor to the broadcast, right? That's one of them. I mean, this obviously just is not a great camera view. Oh, man. The small things sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, that can be funny and bring a little humor to your life. Try not to be all so serious all the time during the broadcast. Add some fun to the broadcast as well. Speaking of fun, make sure to tune in at 11 p.m. Where Jamie Barkas and Patrick Drabick going to be bringing you guys the Magic Manzo ARCA series at Talladega Super Speedway, and well, they're going to have something special for the broadcast tonight, so make sure to tune in for that. I won't release yet what it is, but I imagine it's going to be pretty funny. Again, that's going to be at 11 p.m. Eastern time. ARCA cars at Talladega, going to be a fun watch. Patrick Drabick sitting in that 3rd position right now. Jason Warren has made his way up to 10th, but 32 seconds behind our leader, Cody McElwain, with no caution. That is not enough time to make up 32 seconds. The most he's probably going to make up is to about maybe 7th place. Brandon Wallace is 12 seconds ahead of him. About a second difference in lap time, so should be able to make that up if he keeps at that pace, but that could be tough too, as he's making a pass for 9th. That's Charles Stevens Jr. in the 88. Speaking of pass, Jamie Barkas looking to make a pass on Jesse Nekula, or the other way around. I'm not sure. I think it is, yeah. Jamie Barkas on the inside trying to make a pass for 4th over Jesse Nekula. And he is not able to do so. A nice job from Jesse Nekula in that 29 machine on the high side, battling back, but how long can he do it? Not much longer at all. Jamie Barkas makes the pass. moves up into the 4th position with 16 laps to go. Let's go on board with our leader real quick. We haven't done that in a little while. Let's go on board and see how his car is driving. Car driving pretty well for him. Jonah Colbert, his car's running well as well, or good as well, as he's only 5 tenths back, about 6 tenths now from Cody McElwain. So he was eating into that gap a little bit more than he is now. Maybe that dirty air starting to play into effect. You see him actually running a different line to maybe avoid that dirty air. So we'll see if maybe his tires are starting to even out with Cody McElwain and if he'll be able to get or eat into that gap anymore, because we were starting to, I mean, we saw him earlier go from being behind 1.3 tenths to about 8 tenths in a couple of laps. So it was pretty drastic changes earlier, and it's a little bit less now. It's staying around 5 or 6 tenths. He only has 13 laps to do that as well, which 13 laps around here can last a good while, but for a driver who's in 2nd place and can see that leader but just can't get to him yet, that can go by pretty quickly. And it's the other way around for the leader. If you're the leader in this situation, the laps couldn't be going by any slower. I mean, just wishing laps away if you could, and well, you're not able to. You got to run out those last 12 laps it'll be now, so Cody McElwain sitting comfortable right now, but has to remain, maybe not perfect, but just remain at the pace he is right now, and he'll probably be able to lock it up with no cautions. These two are 4 seconds ahead over Patrick Drabick in 3rd, so really nothing behind him to worry about. Just who's going to win this race is between these front two right now, Cody McElwain and Jonah Colbert. Thank y'all who have tuned in tonight for the Goat Locker Racing 75 at Michigan International Speedway. Been a fun one so far. We have 11 more entertaining laps left in this one. Make sure to tune in next week where we head to another 2+ mile track, 2.5 miles to be specific, at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll do 50 laps there. And no, it is not the road course like they are doing in real life. It is the oval at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then after that, I believe we had the Talladega Super Speedway. So 3 big tracks in a row and 3 vastly different tracks at that. Michigan, a pretty wide track. Then you have Indianapolis, which if you're not on that bottom line, you're screwed. And then you have Talladega, obviously, where you can run basically any lane and be successful. So they're all over 2 miles, or at least at 2 miles, but none of them drive anywhere near the same. Your top 10 is your lead lap cars right now. Garrett Kinder sitting in 10th. He just pit a little while ago. His 2nd pit stop has moved up, or not moved up, but has stayed in the 10th position since getting back on the lead lap. Jason Warren has moved his way up to 8th, looking to catch Brandon Wallace for 7th. And with 9 laps to go, that's a 6-second gap in between the two. And, well, he's running about 7/10 faster than Brandon Wallace a lap. So that we'll see if he's able to catch Brandon Wallace by the last lap. It's going to be tough. So Jason Warren most likely going to finish 8th tonight without a caution. Cody McElwain, you're still your leader, but that the lead between him or the gap between him and Jonah Colbert has shrunk a little bit. Not much, but a little bit here with 8 laps to go. Jonah Colbert not catching him by much, but keeping him honest at the least. Looks like he's gaining time on entry to the turn on the inside, but loses it all on exit. So, I mean, we'll go on here with the 31 of Jonah Colbert just to see the line he's running. He's running more of that middle lane in 1 and 2. Dives down to the inside through the middle of the turn. That actually hurt him. He lost about a 1/10 or 2 there in that one. We'll see if he runs the same line this time around that he did the lap before. He ran the bottom into 3 and 4. He eventually gets down there. More than Cody McElwain anyways. David Cornell, Jesse Necula down pit road. And with it being this close to the finish, probably 2 tires, I'd imagine, for Jesse Necula and David Cornell. There go the leaders by them. Six laps to go. We're going to be 5 this time around for Cody McElwain to wrap this one up and get his first win here in the Xtreme Xfinity Series, and I believe first win in the Original Rebels Racing League. So he's been fast ever since he joined us. About, I think, an average finish of 3rd in his 3 or 4 races with us. So been very consistent, very fast, just hasn't gotten a win yet, and he is 5 laps away from wrapping up that first victory. Lap times right now running 41-second laps. Their fastest about 39 seconds. So, I mean, right there you can just hear and see the difference in new tires versus old tires, as it's a basically a crawling speed compared to what they're used to on newer tires. With those pit stops, right now there's 8 drivers on the lead lap. We'll see if Jesse Necula and Tia Swank are able to get their lead lap back in 4 laps. Going to be kind of tough even on fresher tires. Jonah Colbert down to a 1.4 second gap now, so looks like he's used his stuff up trying to get to the leader, and, well, you can't blame him. I mean, if you're in reaching distance of the leader and you have a chance to win the race, you got to use up your stuff to try to take it away. And unfortunately for Jonah Colbert, used up his stuff, but it's not going to do it for him tonight as of now, falling back to 1.5 seconds behind Cody McElwain. Charles Stevens Jr., one of the drivers who stayed out earlier with Cody McElwain, Jamie Barkas, Patrick Drabick, those drivers. He's up to 7th. He might lose it to Garrett Kinder. He might lose that spot and go back to 8th. But even if he goes back to 8th, he started this race 18th. So to start 18th and finish 8th would absolutely be a success for Charles. 2 laps to go now here at Michigan International Speedway. That 06 machine of Cody McElwain been absolutely the most dominant car tonight. Just needs to collect that white flag before a caution can come out, or else we'd see a green white checkered. But we will see no green white checkered here tonight. 1 lap to go here at Michigan International Speedway, and we are going to go green to checkers here tonight in the Xtreme Xfintiy Series. Cody McElwain trying to wrap this thing up through 1 and 2 for the final time. No wins on the season for Cody McElwain yet. He joined us late, showed some raw speed. Like I said, an average finish of 3rd so far this season, but he's not going to be finishing 3rd here tonight. Out of turn 4, Cody McElwain in the 06 machine across the start-finish line wins here at Michigan International Speedway. And well, I don't have a number yet, but he definitely led the most laps here tonight. Jonah Colbert finishes 2nd, Jamie Barkas 3rd. Patrick Drabick 4th, and Brandon Wallace, your top 5 here tonight. Absolutely great show from all of these drivers to go 75 straight green flag laps, and Cody McElwain leads them all to the checkered flag here tonight. Impressive showing from our race winner. And it didn't come easy. I mean, we saw that first run before we saw green flag pit stops. There were about 6 cars in the top 6 that you could put under a blanket. So it did not come easy for Cody McElwain. He absolutely earned this win here tonight. And the good thing about no cautions is I don't have to use the Rebels Rewind at all. That's always a good thing, but I don't have to use the Rebels Rewind, meaning no wrecks, equaling a good race. And we're going to see burnouts from all of the Jam Cook guys. When a race can go from start to finish and go in under an hour, that's when you know that you had a great race and no cautions. At least with our scheduled races. Cody McElwain parks it. We're going to get him in here. Hey, Cody, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, man. Great race here tonight. First of all, congratulations on the victory. You're first, at least in the Xtreme Xfintiy Series. I'm not sure about the original Rebels Racing League. You've come into this series and been absolutely consistent. I talked about it on the stream. You have an average finish of 3rd so far since you've joined us. Take us through how your car felt tonight, because it looked dominant.
Yeah, man. Yeah, first, it's just awesome to get that first one out of the way. Just feels like there's a weight off my shoulders with that. And yeah, I mean, as far as the car, I just tried to take care of the tires the best I could there, and towards the end there when Jonah was catching me, I just give it everything I had left, and worked out for me.
Yeah, take us through the pit call. We saw some drivers pit around lap 30, I believe, and I was questioning on broadcast if they would be able to make it all the way because, you guys had told me kind of what you thought it would be for the fuel window. Were you maybe caught off guard that so many people were kind of taking that strategy?
Yeah, I honestly was. I knew we could make it on one stop, and that's what we all decided that we were going to do. Before we even got started. So I was yeah, I was a little surprised to see so many guys two-stop it there.
All right, man. Well, you got any sponsor shout outs you want to throw out there tonight?
Yes, sir. I just like to thank Tracks for Vets, Travis Lee Creative, G2G Trailers for sponsoring us. Like to give a shout out to my teammates, Jamie and Pat. Like I said last time, I wouldn't be here without them. Like to thank everybody that puts on this league. It's man, it's been. I know I haven't been here long, but it's been awesome. And I'd like to thank you for doing what you do, man. Do a great job.
I appreciate it. You haven't been here long, but you've definitely kind of put your footprint on the series. So great win tonight. Look forward to talking to you in the future.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. All right, now we'll move on to our second place finisher here tonight, Jonah Colbert. Great showing from him. Hey, Jonah, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, Zach?
Hey, man, great race tonight. It went good for me, and obviously it went great for you guys. Green all the way, and you finished second in it. Take us through that last run. It looked like you gave us all you could to try to get to that leader.
Yeah, I saved my tires for pretty much the whole run up until about 10 laps ago, and that's when I really started putting pressure on them. And it doesn't really take much. I mean, you just two two bad corners and your tires are done, and that's basically what happened. I got to about a half second, started catching this draft, but once you get behind him, the car gets kind of tight, and that was all she wrote. I mean, I didn't have nothing left in the tank for him. He was too fast.
Yeah, take us through how the car felt in dirty air tonight. I mean, we saw kind of that front six in that first run before the first round of green flag pit stops, where we had maybe 6 or 7 cars all on a line, and oh, that can't feel too comfortable in having that much dirty air.
No, on cold tires, it was very, very loose, especially around other cars. And then, about 10, 15 laps in the run, it got really, really tight behind people. And I'm sure you probably saw me following that pack around. I was waiting to make my move because it was just every time you get under somebody, it push, push, push. And so I just backed off. I didn't want to burn them up. And then I was actually surprised everybody started pitting around lap 25 or so. I wasn't sure what that was about because one stop worked for us, and you know it went green, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, man, we saw you go from about 6th or 7th to second, and I noted that maybe you were saving those tires. You did a great job at it. You got any sponsor shout outs you want to throw out there tonight?
Just want to thank JC Race Graphics and Original Rebels Racing League for putting this on, and appreciate the work that you do up in the booth. You guys put on a great show. So
I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Great race tonight. Looking forward to talking to you in the future.
all right, thanks, Zach.
All right, and finally, Jamie Barkus, your third place finisher here tonight. Hey, Jamie, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, man.
Well, first of all, congrats on the great run tonight, finishing third. Take us through how your car felt, specifically on those older tires, because it definitely looked, fun from here, anyways, from the cockpit view, but probably not from your point of view.
Actually, the car felt great the entire run.
Okay.
I didn't really have any issues with it. You could get it down on that first seam at both ends of the track, and it would hook up. If you went below there, you'd have some problems. But as long as you stay on that seam, you were golden. I just wish I hadn't put it into the wall a little bit off of 2 on that first run. That kind of set me back.
Yeah, well, you put it in the wall and still finished third. I guess that's still a pretty good race. I'll ask you kind of the same thing I did, Jonah. We saw that big group of about 6 cars before the first round of green flag pit stops.
Mm-hmm.
Take us through really how it felt being in that group, because it looked like no position was safe each corner.
It wasn't. And if you tried to, you were getting runs, but if you tried to pass, you were probably going to end up losing a spot. But if you didn't make the move to pass, you were probably going to run somebody over. So it was really dicey. For the most, everybody did a really good job. I felt of holding it together there, doing that. Not so sure that was the smartest thing to be doing that early in the race, and we lost a lot of time. Whole group did to Cody. I let Cody get out to quite a big lead on that, but that's you got to do what everybody else is doing in that spot. So, it was fun. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, it was fun to watch you guys running, inches apart from each other and yet keeping it clean. And It was a lot of fun to watch. So you got any shout-out sponsors you want to throw out there tonight?
Oh yeah, that sponsor list is growing. We got to thank our new sponsor, Jam Promotions. They came on board a couple weeks ago. It's the first time I've had a chance to thank them. And then, as always, G2G Trailers, Tracks for Vets, Travis Lee Creative. They help us out, a lot with this, with the stream and everything that we've been doing over the last few weeks. It almost feels like a second job, but Goat Locker Racing has really been growing pretty fast here recently as we get started with our truck series on Thursday nights. And as always, thank you for what job you do on the broadcast and, everybody at Original Rebels Racing that puts this on. We really appreciate it.
Hey, well, shout out to you guys for sponsoring the Xtreme Xfinity Series. Great race tonight. Looking forward to talking to you in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Zach. And it's a pleasure to do the sponsorship.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, we'll see you.
All right. That was your top 3, ladies and gentlemen. And that wraps up tonight's race. Great showing. Once again, I'll say it one more time tonight. To have, the 3-wide racing that we did in early spots of the race, maybe not later on, but to have that 3-wide racing that we had and for it to be clean racing, great showing by everybody here tonight to go 75 straight green flag laps at Michigan. That is no small feat. That is a very tough thing to do. So shout out to all the drivers here tonight. If any of you are watching this race back, shout out to you, no matter who you are in the field. We scroll down and show you. We had 22, it looks like 23 drivers here tonight that gridded up. And other than William Griffith and Kyle Martinson, everybody from 21st on up only were 2 laps down or less. So that's also another showing of kind of no cautions. Is usually when you have wrecks, you have people that are 4, 5, 6 laps down, but none of that tonight, other than obviously 2 drivers. So enjoyed tonight's race. Looking forward to next week, where we head to my hometown, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Been to that place many times, and looking forward to going there virtually, as we're going to do 50 laps there next weekend or next Friday night. Going to be a good one. These Xfinity cars around that track can be pretty tricky, so looking forward to seeing how these drivers tackle that track. And for tonight from Michigan International Speedway, it's been Zach Wetstein here in the booth from Michigan International Speedway from Rebels Racing Network. Have a good night.